Here's something wild. Studies show we make over 200 food-related decisions every single day, but ordering in a foreign language can make even the simplest choice feel impossible.
That reminds me of my complete meltdown trying to order breakfast in Seoul last month. Who knew pointing at pictures could go so wrong?
You know what's fascinating about food ordering? Linguists have identified that these interactions follow almost identical patterns across most English-speaking countries. It's like this hidden social choreography we all learn.
Tell me more about these patterns. What makes them so universal?
Well, research shows there are typically 5 stages: greeting, ordering, clarification, confirmation, and closing. But here's the interesting part. The actual words make up only about 30% of the successful communication.
Hmm. So, what's happening in that other 70%?
It's all about tone, timing, and body language. For instance, studies show that making eye contact while ordering increases order accuracy by about 40%. Want to break down a typical interaction?
That's exactly what I was thinking. Let's dissect it and see these hidden patterns.
So here's a standard cafe scenario. Hi there. Could I get a large coffee, please? Notice how that phrase, could I get, is actually a relatively new construction. It only became common in American English in the 1960s.
Oh, wow. What did people say before that?
They used more direct phrases like I'll have or give me. The shift toward indirect requests reflects a broader cultural change toward what linguists call negative politeness, minimizing imposition on others.
That's making me think about how different cultures handle these interactions. In some places, being too indirect can actually cause confusion, right?
Exactly right. In fact, a study of cross-cultural ordering patterns found that Japanese learners of English often struggle because their politeness structures are so different. They tend to use about 40% more words to make the same request.
Let's explore how the language changes in different settings. Like, how does a casual cafe order compare to fine dining?
Well, research shows that fine dining interactions use approximately 60% more words and include twice as many politeness markers. Listen to this example. Good evening, I was wondering if we might see the wine list, please.
The formality level just shot through the roof there.
And here's something fascinating. Studies of restaurant interactions show that servers who mirror their customers' speech patterns receive about 20% higher tips on average.
That's such an interesting point about linguistic adaptation. How does this play out in fast food settings?
In fast food, efficiency is key. The average order interaction lasts just 17 seconds. The language becomes much more streamlined. Number 2 combo, medium with a Coke. That's actually a perfect example of what linguists call register-specific deletion.
Speaking of efficiency, what about all those specialized ordering terms? Like 8-6 for something that's sold out, or on the fly for rush orders.
Restaurant industry research shows there are over 200 common specialized terms used in food service. It's practically its own dialect. And get this, about 85% of these terms originated in the early 20th century.
That's reminding me of how coffee shops have developed their own complete language system.
Oh yeah, Starbucks alone has influenced modern English in fascinating ways. Their size terminology has become so ubiquitous that about 40% of people now use grande to mean medium, even in non-Starbucks contexts.
Well, that explains why my local diner looked at me weird when I ordered a venti orange juice.
Here's another interesting stat. Studies show that when people are ordering in a second language, they're about 30% more likely to stick to basic menu items and avoid customization.
That makes so much sense from a cognitive load perspective.
And speaking of cognitive load, research indicates that the average person spends about 90 seconds reading a menu in their native language, but up to 3 minutes in a second language.
These numbers are really highlighting how much mental processing is happening during these seemingly simple interactions.
You know what else is fascinating? The role of non-verbal communication. Studies show that successful food service interactions typically involve 3 to 4 instances of confirming eye contact and 2 to 3 affirmative gestures.
That's really breaking down something we do instinctively into measurable patterns.
And here's my favorite stat. According to recent research, about 75% of ordering mistakes happen not because of wrong words, but because of mismatched cultural expectations about how the interaction should proceed.
That really drives home how much more there is to this than just vocabulary.
Well, this deep dive into ordering patterns has certainly given us plenty to chew on. Pun absolutely intended. Who knew something as simple as asking for coffee could involve so many linguistic and cultural layers?
That's such a perfect way to wrap this up, showing how the everyday can be extraordinary when you look closely enough.